Hey YouTube, Wes here checking in with a video response to Trish, DJ Trish here on YouTube. She recently wanted to celebrate 600 subscribers, something around that mark, and she wanted us to talk about sort of our camera setup, our video editing setup, those kind of things to celebrate her 600 subscribers. So I thought this was kind of right up my alley, and I better get a response in. Before I go into that, just wanted to talk about the hurricane. I know several of you have asked about it, asked about what's going on with that. I don't know which. I just recorded my vinyl inbox video, and I don't know which is going up first, or I don't know which one will be up before or after the hurricane kind of thing. So I'll say this again: Hurricane Irma is on the way here. They're predicting it to come pretty close to us. We are here in the north central part of Florida, so we're kind of somewhat protected from major problems that are associated with hurricanes. We're about 150 feet above sea level, so we don't really have the flooding problems. And by the time the storm comes ashore, it sort of dies down a bit. So we do get high winds, but it's not as bad where it's going to rip the roof off usually. The kind of things. Mainly have to deal with a lot of down trees, down power lines. Power goes out pretty much all the time. It's pretty normal thing, so we're prepared for that. We got battery backups and extra food, extra water, that kind of thing, and we're just gonna see what happens. You never know, but we're prepared. Thank you for those of you who have contacted me and were curious or were worried. We're as best prepared as we can be. As I said, we're kind of in an area where it's not super dangerous to be. If you're on the coast, obviously you want to evacuate, but further inland where we are, it's not as much of a life-threatening kind of danger kind of thing. More of a just financial damage, loss kind of thing. But hopefully we won't have too much of that. So yeah, I wanted to go ahead and answer Trish's questions. Two quick questions, kind of just about the camera setup we use and the video editing software we use on the computer, if we use any at all. So the first thing I'll talk about is the camera. The main camera I use is a Canon 80D DSLR. It was actually a fairly new DSLR. It was released about a year and a half ago now. Use this for photography as well as my videos. Mainly, it's just a workhorse of a camera. It's kind of like a Toyota Camry, if you will. It's not fancy. It's not super fast. It's not super sexy. It just does the job. It does a lot of different things well. It's good at photography. It's good at video, but it doesn't have 4K video, but it does good 1080p video. Takes good photos. It's not a full frame sensor. It doesn't have extreme low light performance, but for what it is, it does well. It's relatively affordable. I normally do have the 24mm pancake lens on it, which is what I typically like to use. It's just a small lightweight lens, and just been using that for video. I bought it to make videos with. I bought it when we lived at the old house because it was a good focal length for what I wanted to do, and it has a fast f2.8 aperture on it, so it lets in a good amount of light. Don't have to have too much in the way of lighting to make this lens work. Also do use a Rode Video Micro microphone on top of the camera. I use that for just backup audio, just in case my lapel mic here has failed. The lapel mic is connected to a Tascam DR05. I believe Paul Parakaby Dub, I think he has one of these. I think he's shown it in some of his videos. A really nice digital recorder. I use that connected to the lapel mic to record my voice. It does a better job than the shotgun mic and gives a little bit clearer sound. Just a little way I can to improve the quality of the videos. And then as far as the lighting, I have just two really cheap video lights here. Actually, I bought a telephoto lens for my camera last year for some wildlife photography, and that came with a $100 gift card. and I used the gift card to buy these lights with. Before that, I was just using some clamp-on sort of shop lights that you buy at Home Depot. Put some 100-watt LED bulbs in there, and that's pretty much it. I got those same bulbs in these. These have some nice big 24-inch soft boxes on them, which makes the light a little more spread out, a little more even. But yeah, don't necessarily need to have anything super fancy. Sort of wanted to add in here some suggestions for people to maybe improve their videos. I see a lot of times people are doing vinyl videos, music related videos, and they can be difficult to watch at times. A lot of times people will have a very bright window behind them with no light coming in towards them. If you don't have any lights you can use to shoot with, turn around, make it where the light from the window is facing you. It would improve your videos greatly. It would help to be able, when you hold up an album, it would help to be able to see the detail of the artwork clearly, and that is helped out by having the light coming towards the front of the album, and it helps to see your face nicely because the light is coming towards your face. So that's definitely one of my first suggestions I can say is get the light coming towards you. You want to be well lit. If that means moving around where your setup is, so be it. Try to find a place where the light is coming towards you. If you just have some small desk lamps or something you can use to sort of aim light towards you, that can help. And if not, get near the window and sort of face the window so the light from the window is coming in and hitting you in the front of your face, so it lights up your face, lights up the album that you're showing. If you're using your phone to record video, turn it on airplane mode so you're not getting notifications while you're making videos, so your phone's not vibrating during videos or making all kinds of noises during videos. If you can get, they make little clamps that allow you to attach your smartphone to a tripod. That would be really nice, instead of just sort of leaning your phone up on something and sort of trying to record that way. Get it to where it's sitting on a tripod, solidly clamped down, and it's not going to move, and it's going to have a nicely framed picture. That would be definitely something you would want to do. And then the last thing I can suggest, if you're using your smartphone to shoot video with, is if you're comfortable with it, use the back camera. It's always going to be better quality than the camera on the front. You won't be able to see yourself when you're filming, but you can kind of sort of, again, once you set it up in a tripod and get your framing set up to where you can see what it is you want people to see, then you can kind of just set it up and hit record and sit down and go and do your thing. So those are some suggestions for people making videos to maybe possibly improve the quality of your videos. Hey guys, Wes here. Just thought I would sort of do a quick follow-up here. I know I didn't mention what I was using to make this video with. I forgot to mention that. Just showing here, I got the window, face, light. Yeah. This is the Canon EOS M3. This is Canon's mirrorless system. With this adapter, it takes regular Canon EOS glass. If you're a Canon DSLR shooter, I definitely recommend getting one of these. I love this little thing. It's really handy. It has the same sensor as my 80D in it, 24 megapixel sensor, shoots 1080p HD video. Really cool camera in a really small package. The only thing, it doesn't have a viewfinder. You can buy an EOS M5 that has a viewfinder, quite a lot more expensive than this. Got this thing for around $300, which is a good deal. But yeah, shooting this with the M3 and the what is this? Tamron 17-50 2.8 lens. Camera doesn't really matter, just gotta know how to use it. So I'll talk briefly about the software I use. When I started out on YouTube making videos, I was using Windows Movie Maker, I believe. That was quite a while ago now. It was okay. It did the job. It got me sort of introduced to nonlinear editing and using a timeline and cutting video and adding in music and titles and those kind of things. Then after that, I was using Sony Vegas. I used a couple different versions of Sony Vegas. That's a pretty decent program, a little more technical, a little more. There were a little more special effects you were able to do with Sony Vegas. I think I mainly did that because Windows Movie Maker was not able to edit HD video, and that was the time when we were switching over from standard definition to high definition, and Windows Movie Maker was just not keeping up with that, so I needed a different editor to use with that. And then very recently, the past couple of years, I've been using Adobe Premiere Elements, I believe it's called. It's sort of their low-end version of Adobe Premiere. Again, a very simple nonlinear editor. Just was getting fed up with Sony, was having a lot of problems with Sony. Been using Adobe products with my photography and stuff, so I decided to just keep it in the family and use Adobe products. And then more recently, I've gotten onto a free program called DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve is quite a technical program. It is not for the faint-hearted. It's not for someone who doesn't have any experience with nonlinear editors, for sure. A quick look at DaVinci Resolve 14 to kind of give you an idea of what it looks like, what it can do, kind of things. Just a quick look. I've only scratched the surface as far as what this program can do. Here, this is the main editing panel. This is where I'll have all my video and audio and image clips and stuff, bring those in here, and I'll be able to drag them down here to the timeline and cut and sort of adjust them and move them around and sort of get them in sequence how I want. This is where I also can do different kinds of effects and wipes and titles and all that kind of stuff, transitions, things like that. This is where you're mainly going to be putting your video together at. The next panel here is the color panel. This is kind of how DaVinci Resolve started. It started as a program that was designed to color correct video. Set your brightness, your contrast, your sharpness, fix the colors if the colors are not correct, get a certain look if you want sort of more of a monochrome kind of look, if you want a really saturated, rich kind of look. Ways for video editors to sort of get a particular look they want, or to match videos from different cameras. Each camera has its own sort of look, and if you're recording, say, a documentary and you have multiple angles and different cameras taking those different angles, they're all going to look sort of different, so you want to match those together and make it look more professional, more smooth. So that's where you would do that. The next step here is Fairlight. This is the audio editing portion of the program. If you want to get in and deep dive into the audio portions of your video and really tweak them, you can do things like audio compression, you can do audio equalization, you can do add in envelopes and different kinds of things to sort of try to get rid of background noises, those kind of things. I can do that all in here. Very powerful as far as what it can do. And then the last panel here is just a delivery panel. This is where you choose how you want your video to be rendered, the output of the video, what kind of quality you want, what kind of codec you want to use to render it, all those kind of things. So yeah, that's just a quick look at DaVinci Resolve 14. This is a beta, as I said. It is a free program. It's very powerful. If you are familiar with nonlinear editing, then you might want to give this a try. I'm really happy with it so far. For free, you can't really complain. Works really well. It does take quite a bit of a powerful computer. I have a pretty powerful computer, and it's still pretty rough on it. That's a look at it. Thanks. That's what I'm using now. Hope you enjoyed this video. Trish, hope you're doing well, enjoying the last days of summer there on the Jersey Shore. It's been beautiful to see your bike rides and see the videos from the beach and everything. It's been cool to see those this summer, and I've been enjoying them. So, and those sunset paddles are cool too. I really dig that. I'd like to be able to do that myself. So yeah, congrats, Trish. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day, a great night, and we'll see you again real soon. Cheers.